Happy holidays, everyone. As you can tell, we're having a lot of fun with the new Anki Drive. These are little autonomous cars. Nathan, I think you did pretty well.
Thank you very much.
Good job.
I learned how to use those things. They have guns.
Yeah, the future of real and toys, autonomous driving.
It's a little scary, actually. This is our future, guys.
And this is the second annual TFL Holiday Show. So basically last week we had you write in a bunch of questions and we're going to answer those questions today. And Nathan, what's the very first, what are you doing with the Nutcracker? What's the very first question?
First question a lot of people have been asking is, where's Emmy?
What? You guys, I'm right here. I've been here the whole time.
These guys, where's Emmy? I don't know.
Yeah, like searching. I've been right here the whole time.
I know, it's funny. We put up a video a day, and if Emmy's not in every single one,
Where's Emmy?
they miss you, Emmy.
I know, and it makes me feel, it does warm my heart to know that there are, 16 people out there on the internet that really like me. So we have some of these awesome questions, so I'm going to read a few here for us.
Did we start this, or did this just start on its own?
I didn't touch it. I swear, I'm holding a Nutcracker.
All right.
Yeah, autonomous cars. Okay, so the first one we have are what vehicles... What vehicles do you own or have owned, and why?
All right, why don't you start?
Well, my current car is a second generation Mazda Miata, which I love more than life itself. But in the past, I've also had a 81 Jeep CJ7, a 73 Volkswagen Thing, and my first car was a Toyota Celica.
Nathan, how about you?
Guys, I grew up in a wrecking yard family, so I had a new car almost every other month. Not a new car, but one from the wrecking yard. Had a 65 Mustang that I loved, had a 84 Camaro, had a 78 Oldsmobile Omega, had a 89 Mitsubishi Montero, an 87 Mitsubishi Montero, and about 20 others. I've had a lot of cars.
Wow.
You've had a lot of cars, yeah.
Yeah, and from all over the world, too.
Yeah, and currently I don't have a car except for the Lincoln Mark V, which actually belongs to Tommy, who is behind the camera along with Sam. Just want to give a shout out to the team. And the reason we don't have cars is because...
Well, they give us new cars all the time, folks. I mean, sometimes up to 3 cars, and the reason you get a new video every day is because we test them again and again and again. But I do drive a Mazda 5 from time to time so I can hold the little kids in the back.
As far as what kind of car I actually drive when I'm not driving one of the vehicles they've given me to review, I have a 2010 Dodge Charger. I love that car. I love being the only mom that drives up to carpool who is not in a minivan. And the reason I picked that car was I had been driving a Scion XD prior to that. If you're familiar with that car, it's rather small and not particularly powerful. And one day I just couldn't take it anymore and decided that I needed more power. Got in the Charger, got on the lot, got in it, drove away, never looked back. So that is my daily driver, and I absolutely love the car.
Now, speaking of getting new cars and stuff all the time, I think that was one of our questions, if I am right, is how do we get these cars? Like, how does all that work?
Yeah, we go and steal them.
Yeah, pretty much. I've learned so much by working here at TFL Car. I can now hire a car, break into a car.
There's a couple dealerships now. Nathan, why don't you come over? Come join us, dude. You're so far over there. Come on.
I'm fighting with this car. How come it's not...
Because Tommy's driving it over there.
That's... Dude, you've been messing with my little brain. I could not figure out why and how it was avoiding the Nutcracker.
Now, there's a video that we've done which shows where we get our cars. There's a press fleet in Denver, and they deliver a car to us, and that's one of the perks of being an automotive journalist. We get a new car every week, clean and full of gas, and in Nathan's case, it gets returned.
Sometimes a little dirtier than others, but we really do try to keep them nice. And there are 3 fleets here in Colorado alone. So sometimes we get a whole bunch, sometimes we don't get so much.
And by the way, if you're wondering why Emmy hasn't been reviewing a lot of cars recently, it's because she works out of Washington, and it takes a lot of logistical Andre time to actually get Emmy set up with the different fleets there and get everybody on the same page. So in the near future, Emmy will be reviewing cars.
Yes, we do. We do have a schedule coming up, so hopefully in January we'll start shooting those for you guys, so you won't have to bug these guys asking them questions about where I am.
And
okay.
laundry baskets are coming back, right?
Yeah, I brought my laundry baskets.
Oh, you did? Yeah,
I
good.
did. Next question. If you guys could take parts to build your dream car that doesn't exist, what would it be?
I think everybody's dream car does exist today. You know, it used to be that there were like economy cars, sedans, and like trucks, right? And now there's all these niche vehicles. So whatever you can think of, right? You want a cute little car, it exists. You want some crazy super Japanese power car, it exists. And so you'd be hard to find a car that doesn't fit someone's dream.
Well, I don't know. I mean, honestly, if I had some coin, I would drop a monster V8 into my Miata.
Yeah, too much engine for that chassis.
Well, I mean, sure, you have to
you're not
upgrade,
allowed
you have to
That's
upgrade.
her dream, not yours.
Yeah. I mean, of course, like I would upgrade it, you know, new suspension, new shocks, all that kind of stuff, and a roll bar and all of that. But that would be fantastic because then you get
And
lightweight.
it's called the Shelby. Shelby Mustang.
You're right, it is called a
Shelby
Shelby.
Mustang.
My bad. Okay, how did you get started and what did you do before this?
You start with Roman on that one.
What did I do before this? You know, I've been a journalist since college. I got my master's degree in journalism, and I was a TV reporter. I was the Southern Wisconsin bureau chief for WIFR TV, and my sign-off
Wait,
at that,
WFRT?
WIFR TV.
Oh, I really wanted to be WFRT.
This is like burned into my brain. Yeah, my sign-off was, "This is Roman Micah reporting for WIFR TV, Channel 23 News," and I had like 2 minutes, and that was 15 seconds of it. How about you, Emmy?
Before this, I was with Roadfly TV, which some of you guys might know me from. And getting into that, I was just kind of in the right place at the right time. They were looking for someone to replace Jesse Lang, who some of you guys might also know. And I had just met Charlie, and it was right place, right time, just got kind of real lucky. But my day job is I work in theater, which you might not know. So I get to be all girly with the theater stuff and then come play with the boys in the cars.
She's going to put some kabuki makeup on me soon, and I'm going to be doing some no theater. And for me, my family owns some of the largest wrecking yards throughout Southern California. So all my life I've been in the wrecking yard business and crashed cars, made sure some cars did crash, and also worked a lot with various small racing outfits all throughout Southern California. And then eventually I went into journalism, and after a few years I became a writer, and after a few years of that I met Roman and suddenly just fell into video.
And it's been magic ever since.
It's been a romance.
Romance
A
ever since.
bromance.
Romance, yes.
All right, this one should be a good question. Any cars that you have destroyed, or just a car crash? A car crash, maybe not destroyed, but I
hand
know.
over Nathan right away.
I know you have a good story.
I got a lot of good stories. I'll tell you what, I'll put those aside. Right after I turned 16, quick story, my father had me go, when I turned 15 years old, and buy a beat-up old Oldsmobile, and he gave me 1 year to fix it up and get it absolutely perfect so I could drive it when I was 16. That's exactly what happened. Awesome way to learn about cars. And then about a month after that, I went to the back of a big store, and there was like a ramp, and I thought, you know what, I can do that. And I went
Hey,
off.
watch this.
Yeah, oh God, the Dukes of Hazzard, it was bad because I landed on top of an MGTD, and you know, the wheels are like this normally, they went like that. And I actually landed on top of the car and crushed it. And that was, my dad made me fix up the car again. And
crush it again?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Once I fixed it up, I got rid of it. I got a Mustang after that, but that was a long thing. Point is that was my very first of many small incidences
Wow.
with cars. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, that was a bad one.
Gosh, I thought mine was pretty good. I rolled a car twice within 1 mile
Wow.
in a race.
And you're okay.
Yeah, I'm okay. And the worst part is that it wasn't my car. So
No, that's the best part.
No, it was the worst part. It was the worst part because I basically learned in that there's no friends in off-road racing. And it was really hard, and I to this day feel really bad. But that team is still racing, and they were at the Baja 1000 this year, and they finished late, but they still got the car through for the whole 1,000 miles. So I'm happy for them for that. But
Yeah.
And I destroyed an M3. My M3, actually. I was living in Europe, working there, and I bought a M3 European delivery. At that time, you could get a BMW, and they'd give it to you for a year, and then you'd bring it back home to America. It was no fun. There was nothing really funny about it. My wife and I were driving on this rutted out road. It was raining. I was passing a Volvo at about 60 kilometers. I passed a Volvo, went back into my lane. The BMW, not this, went sideways, and I was going down the road sideways, and then we went like this and like that, and right into a tree. And the sunroof, if you don't know it, is this huge mechanism that's actually built into the car. It's not just that little hole you see, and that whole thing went down my back. I broke my leg. My wife looked like, pretty badly, and it was just a really nasty, nasty accident.
oh, that's bad news bears.
Yeah, so, but we survived it.
It's kind of a testament to the safety in modern cars.
It is,
You know?
it is.
I mean, you guys.
And you gotta love the Germans because I completely destroyed this car, and that was on a Sunday, and by Friday, it was insured, and the money was back in my account. And the checks, which I am, so I can say this, the checks actually tore the car apart, and when I went to look at it, all the important pieces of it were missing. It disappeared.
Totally stripped the car.
The knob on top of the stick shift transmission, all gone. All the M badging gone.
Okay.
Before you do
yeah.
that one, here's a question, and this one is going to be answered by Nicole. And the question is, did Nathan ever get locked in the trunk? Nicole can't be here, but I had her answer that question via video. So, Nathan, you don't know what she's saying, but it's pretty funny.
I have a feeling I know what she's saying.
Okay, as far as the questions you guys asked, me coming in from far away and being added into these videos since I couldn't make it out to Colorado, one of the questions I decided to answer was one that they probably don't think I can answer, and it was, has Nathan ever been locked in the trunk of a car? Now, I've only done a few things with Nathan for TFL Car, and I can say no, he has never managed to lock himself in the trunk. Probably because they have these bright, glowy little handles that glow in the dark so you can pull. So even if you did manage to lock yourself in the trunk, you can get out. However, if Nathan were to be locked in the trunk of a car, I'm going to say the only reason it hasn't actually happened yet is because he hasn't filmed anything with me and Emmy. Not that I think we could get into trouble, but I'm just saying, best chance for Nathan actually getting locked in the trunk of a car would involve the three of us somehow filming something together.
All right, next.
Let me see, should we go up here or do we want to?
You pick.
Let me see. All right, since we're all a fan of the manual, which car or brand has the best manual transmission?
Audi. The R8 had the best manual transmission I've ever sampled.
Yeah, there's that cliche where you say it's like bolt action, like a bolt action shotgun, and literally that's what it felt like. It was just click, 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 just, and the right amount of pressure, on the clutch.
Absolutely
it was
perfect.
Magnifique. God had created a transmission, that would be it.
Yep.
I know you're going to say Miata.
No. Well, I mean, the Miata is great because it's a nice short throw and all of that, but I was in the Cayman, and the Cayman has a fantastic
Okay,
6E.
yeah, that's
Cayman
that's
is
really good too.
Real good. Very, very good. It still has a short throws. The clutch is still, the engagement point is right there, and you're so connected in that car. It's awesome.
We had that Cayman R a couple years ago. Remember that? That was
Yeah.
really good.
And while we're at it, should we tell them the worst transmission?
Well, yeah, I think.
I can go there.
Okay.
There's one car where I would definitely get the CVT over the manual transmission. And
That's blasphemy.
I know, and that is, I believe, what was it? I just drove it. It was the Impreza, the manual.
Really?
You're
six-speed.
talking about on the XV Crosstrek.
Correct. Yeah, the manual is just really rubbery, and the engine is somewhat underpowered, and the CVT brings out much more of that car's performance than the manual.
Completely disagree with you. Moving on.
Let's see. Modern turbo and supercharged engines, reliability, longevity versus normally aspirated.
Okay, this actually brings up a really good point. The fact is that we get these vehicles sometimes for over a week, but never for a lengthy period of time. As such, we never go into reliability. We don't go off of what other people say about reliability. You are more than, anybody's welcome to go and check out Consumer Reports or whatever. What we do is we can base things on what we have over a week. Now, some cars have failed on us over a course of 1 week or 2 weeks. We've had that happen before. But for the most part, we can't really judge these types of questions because it's the one thing we don't really do is long-term reliability. Not yet.
I actually have a
Yeah.
good story about that. We had the Audi S8, which is a beautiful car. It's just a magnificent piece of engineering. And we were mashing it up with the Tesla.
That's right.
I drove that car, the Tesla, to where we do our 0 to 60s, and somebody else drove the Audi. And when we get there, we were about to do the 0 to 60 again, because we had done it once before and we wanted to retest it. And the guy driving it says, yeah, this thing is not working right. And I looked at it, and the suspension was down like 2 inches. It has air suspension, and the suspension has this little red light that says, go see your dealership, and don't drive it much more. I'm like, okay, we can't do the 0 to 60, so I drove it back home, and on the way home, the little yellow light turned to a red light, and the thing dropped another like 2 inches, and now the thing is like any pregnant ant is going to get hit by the car, and the little warning message says, do not drive, call your Audi.
Are you like scraping your wheels on a
Almost, yeah,
fender?
it was like completely low rider, badass looking car. I was
Did you
terrified.
lean your seat back? They're like, you.
Usually I put these things in my garage because they're expensive and I'm terrified something's going to happen to them. I wasn't even going to go up that little curb. So there was a car that failed on us.
Let's see, I'm 15.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not. I am. I'm totally
You are
15.
15.
Right. I'm 27. I'm 15, and can I come and review a car with you?
We wish we could do that, guys, but especially if you're underage. Not necessarily. But you know what? We've been talking about doing something on the route back from Washington to California and having some people ride with us in
The
Tatra.
Tatra, yay!
Yeah,
Roman?
as you know, we're trying to do a Kickstarter program. We're trying to raise money to buy a Czech communist era car and drive it to Pebble Beach. And the reason we're doing that is because, this is the whole team. We don't have big corporate donors like some of the other YouTube channels. We're not partnered with YouTube like some of the other YouTube channels.
Automakers don't pay us, even though some of you think they do.
I mean,
Yes.
what pays us is the fact that you're watching these videos. And so we're kind of coming to you, hat in hand, asking to help us realize this. It's not really a dream. It's really an untold story of the story of Tatra. Without Tatra, and this may seem strange, but it's true, you probably wouldn't have a Porsche 911 and you probably wouldn't have a Volkswagen Beetle today. And so we're trying to tell that story, and we're trying to have this crazy adventure road trip where we drive a communist era car way too far.
Right.
But the other part of that, and what I was bringing up, is on the way back for various donors, if you'd like, if you get to a certain level, we will stop by if you're within 50 miles of our route, and you can ride with us. We'll get you on camera, be able to review a communist era Tatra. I can't believe we're doing this.
Which we're all kind of excited because these cars come with an air-cooled V8 engine.
Over the rear axle.
Yeah, I'm flabbergasted by this. I can't wait to see it.
All right, I'm going to ask this next question for Emmy,
Okay.
and you'll understand why the second I ask it,
Okay.
okay? What is your favorite convertible and why?
Mazda Miata.
Guess what car she has.
Yeah. No, the reason I love the Mazda Miata is, first of all, it is such a dream to drive because it's very simple. Now, I have a second generation car. So mine's a 2001. So it is definitely older. But what that means is I don't have any of those nannies. There's no ABS in it. There's no traction control. There's no stability control. There's none of that. So it's very, very simple. It's got a 5-speed manual, and I love that. I love the fact that I can feel connected to the car. The top is manual, so there's no chance of it like stopping in the middle of a rainstorm and just then I'm stuck with the top halfway up, halfway down. It's affordable. I mean, this car, buying them used, you can get them used very, very affordable, and even when they were new, they were still within reach of many, many people, which is great. And
Oh,
the
you're
fact
in love, Emmy.
I know,
You
I
are
am.
so
I
in
want to marry
love.
my car.
You are
and
so
it's
in
got
love.
the 50-50 weight distribution,
Oh, yeah.
and
All right, keep
they're
going,
not very
keep going.
fast,
Keep
but I
going.
could keep
You're
going.
your love affair.
I
I
could
know,
keep
I know.
going.
Keep going.
Mazda Miata all the time.
And I would choose a Jeep.
Well, yeah, and Jeep's kind of my second.
Well, but it's my first. Oh, I
Maybe
get the
my
Jeep.
first.
You get the Miata, I get the Jeep.
I'm going to kick your ass. R8 convertible. All-wheel drive, it has it. Blow your Miata out of the water.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about full-on speed. This is a love affair. It's quirky, and you have to love it. Okay.
All right, what's the next one?
What's the best Subaru and why?
Really? Let me think. WRX? Oh, WRX. WRX? WRX? WRX?
Wait.
What would you
No. STI.
Yeah. You know what, though? I
That's
think
a
that the
tough one.
WRX is the
BRZ.
most...
BRZ. I can't believe you guys are even questioning this.
No. WRX way over BRZ.
BRZ.
Way over. Because
No.
you could drive the WRX anywhere, anytime. Turbocharged. BRZ is not. And you have a lot more control. And the WRX is a lot of bang for the buck. You know what I mean?
Sure.
The STI is really expensive. And performance-wise, there's kids out there who are throwing kits on them that are absolutely blowing STI out of the water. So why not just get a WRX? Tommy, you're way back there. You're like under 20. You like it, right?
No, Miata's better.
Curse you!
All right. 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee or 2014 4Runner for commuting and off-roading once in a while.
Good question.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
I haven't been in the 4Runner, but I have been in the Jeep Grand Cherokee. Well, I was in the regular Cherokee off-road, and I thought that just performed fantastic off-road. Even with street tires, it was going up things like it was not a thing. And then when you get it on the road, it's still very mild-mannered on the road. It's still very easy to drive. I know that a lot of people debate the looks of the new Cherokee. I don't particularly mind it. It's kind of grown on me in the past.
Well, this is the Grand Cherokee.
And I certainly like the Grand Cherokee. I love the way the Grand Cherokee looks, and it also has that new EcoDiesel, which is really awesome.
All right, Nathan, you. Grand Cherokee or 4Runner, commuting and off-road. Which would you pick?
The Grand Cherokee if it was the diesel, otherwise the 4Runner if it was the fully off-road capable one.
And would you take one for off-road and one for commuting, or would you just?
No, I'd take the Cherokee Diesel for everything. I think that is the most complete package out there.
Yeah.
The Grand Cherokee Diesel is just extraordinary. I mean, come on, we took it off-road, it kicked ass.
But it is getting expensive. I mean, I think $55,000 now you're in
Doesn't
like
say
Range
price on there.
Rover,
Doesn't say
Land
price
Rover.
on
No,
there.
it doesn't.
There's no price on that. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's, you know, if they were specific and said price, I'd probably say something else.
Okay, why don't you like BMW?
Wow, I hate the Z4. No, wait, that's one of my favorites of the two. I hate the M3. No, I actually love driving that too. I hate the 7 Series. No, I like that actually over the 8, the BMW.
So
8.
maybe you guys, maybe
Well,
we
maybe
like
we don't completely hate them. You know what, guys? I know where this is coming from. A lot of this comes from some of the comparisons we've done with Audi versus BMW. And frankly, some of the BMWs we've used, we could really feel the heft on them, especially the 5 Series. That's a very heavy car. And it was a bummer because I know how solid it is and I know how capable it is. I don't have any favorites of any cars throughout the range. I choose the best car for the way it feels, not for the way it drives, not for how it looks on paper, but the way it feels. So if you've heard me saying anything negative about a BMW, namely the GTs on the 3 or the 5 Series, well, there's a reason. Maybe aesthetically I don't like them. But in that respect, that has nothing to do with the actual like and dislike of the actual brand BMW.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I've owned a BMW.
So have I, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah, and I've killed myself in it almost. So maybe that's where that's coming
I
from.
blew the engine on one. That's not good.
Hey, this is a good question. The best all-wheel drive. Where was it? Just saw it.
Oh, best all-wheel drive car you ever tested?
Tested. Yeah. Why don't you start? You're the
Well-
off-road racer.
I mean, if we're going to best all-wheel drive car I've ever tested, Audi R8.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that was certainly the most fun that I've ever had in one of those cars.
How about? Let me
was
change
just-
it. How about best off-road all-wheel drive car ever tested?
Off-road.
But oh, you're talking all-wheel drive or you're talking four-wheel drive?
Either or.
Well, that's a really big, because you know you have a Grand Cherokee or a Wrangler here, and then
Pick
over
one.
here-
Just pick one. Pick the best off-road.
Well, I mean,
all-wheel-
honestly, I am a huge fan of the Wrangler. I mean, I love the Cherokee, but I like the Wrangler because it is a convertible, and I like it that it just looks, it has so much of the history behind it. You know, my dad used to drive a Jeep, I used to drive a Jeep, so when it comes to something, when I get a car that's going to be four-wheel drive, there's no question I'm going to go
Remember
to the
those
Wrangler.
Hemis we drove?
Yo, those with big Hemi engines, they were
Yeah, the
ridiculous. Those things were like toys. And yeah.
And the SRT8 engines?
The SRT8
All right, so
engines.
pick a best off-road all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, you name it.
Range Rover Sport.
Range Rover Sport, huh?
That
Because of the
thing.
air suspension or
The power. The
Yeah.
power was
The-
just
the
intoxicating.
supercharged one?
Yes. Oh.
You didn't feel weird off-roading and all that comfort?
Yeah, you know what though? Because I mean, I am in such a limited range, including my intelligence, that being able to drive a vehicle like that makes me feel smarter and makes me feel like I'm more handsome. Hence, I prefer that.
You know,
vehicle.
I'm going to go off script, but remember when we were in Moab and we got to drive the Power Wagon and we took it up
that's
Wipeout
pretty
Hill?
good, yeah, that was-
So they give us these Power Wagons, and Wipeout Hill is one of the harder hills in Moab, and they get this old crusty guy, and he's like, I remember seeing Wranglers being blown off the hill and go tumble down into the ravine. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm not going down there. So I had Nathan drive.
So I made Nathan do it.
Yeah, I was terrified of the thing.
Give the keys to the 8. He'll do it.
Yeah. So Nathan drives down this hill it's not a hill, it's a boulder field that no truck should ever go on. And we get to the bottom, I'm like, phew, oh, boy, did that bullet. Turns out it's a dead-end canyon.
No way to go back
No
up.
way out.
And they're like, switch drivers. I'm like, and it was terrifying because this is such a massive vehicle and we're going straight up. So literally all you see going up this hill is sky.
But you had a spotter, right?
Yeah,
I'm sure
and
you
We had the
did.
spotter and he knew
Yeah.
exactly what
There's
to
a
tell
spotter
us.
where it tells you exactly where to, and you would not believe that this thing like mountain goated up this
Yeah.
this incredible incline.
With stock tires too.
Yeah.
Those are
It kind
factory
of is
tires.
amazing when you get some of these off-road vehicles out there and you just, because we're so used to just seeing them in town and not really working up to their full potential, when you finally do push them, it's incredible how capable most of these four-wheel drive cars are.
I want to drive the new Power Wagon.
Yeah.
That'll be even better, I hear. That's what I hear.
So let's stop right there, and we'll come back to this because next time we're going to get together. We're going to talk about the future. This time we talked about the best cars we've ever driven. Next time on New Year's, we're going to talk about the future of automobiles and what we think is coming down the pike. So come back for part 2 on New Year's Day. As always, this is Roman
And Nathan.
And Emmy.
saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys at the next part 2.